Good day and greetings from the Great White North. My name is Prickly Poo and welcome to day 98 of a year of change. Um, it is about 2 in the morning on Saturday morning. I'm recording this one a little bit early and I am slightly tipsy. And by slightly tipsy, I mean pretty fucking hammered at this point. I don't drink very often, but when I do, I make up for it. I'm Canadian, so we just drink a tremendous amount and it's awesome. So I've got about 2, maybe 3 cups of rum into me. I mix it obviously with other stuff as well. And I've been spending the past 2 hours just sort of watching YouTube videos. So I just sort of wanted to touch base today and touch on a few things, sort of wrap up the week as this sort of turned into a weekly wrap up thing. And I really hope I'm not slurring my words enough, which I don't think I am. Anyway, a few things started out this week. One, on Tuesday, we added a new YouTuber named Nina, and just sort of sent out the email to her. I generally will send out an email along with stuff just to sort of tell them exactly what it is about their channel that really appeals to us and what we can use, what we can work with, and things like that. And kind of fucking dropped the ball on it. Basically what had happened is that earlier on in the week, I had been fiddling around, I think it was actually last weekend, I was fiddling around with some of my Google Plus settings. Fuck you, Google Plus. And at some point, for whatever reason, ended up desyncing, if that's the word, a lot of my contacts. Because a lot of my contacts are now in my phone, and it's people that I don't have a number for. So I changed things around, fiddled around, so I thought, okay, if I just have their phone number, then it'll be fine. So all the YouTubers that I've added over the past few weeks were all in there as well, so they could send back and forth. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently what had happened was I desynced everything. So I wasn't getting notifications, I wasn't getting email, I wasn't getting anything. There was just zero activity going on. So what had happened was, after about 2 or 3 days of this, I thought, this is really weird. Usually, I'm not even getting notifications from Twitter. I'm not getting anything out of this. Which, by the way, really am enjoying Twitter. I wish I had joined a long time ago. Sort of get in contact with a bunch of people that you would never have any fucking chance of ever meeting in real life. And talking back and forth, and I found a few really good things. Anyway. I'm going to try to stay on topic on this one because, again, slightly tipsy. I'm feeling pretty fucking good, though, so I figured this is what better time to record. So, anyway, after about 2 or 3 days, I'm not getting any notifications. I'm not getting anything at all, which is really fucking odd. So, I went in, checked all my settings and everything. Everything was fine. Went on my phone, and it was desynced. So I thought, okay, great. So, I hit sync, and a slew of incoming messages came in. Everything from Twitter and Twitch and YouTube and everything just flooded my inbox. So I've been spending the past couple of days sort of figuring that out. So unbeknownst to me, but notes to others, Nina had actually replied. Not only replied, but had put up a video. So I'm going to put that in the description below as well. Just sort of touching on the email that I had sent and things like that, which is why I've been spending the past couple of hours watching her videos over and over again, which we'll get to in a second. So I didn't know that she had actually posted something. I didn't know she had replied. I didn't know she sent an email. I didn't have any of this stuff. Because generally when I'm at work, I don't really have time. I check my phone and things like that, but I don't go into my email to take a look. Usually it'll tell me when I have a new email, and there was nothing. So I didn't think anything of it. But it wasn't sending any there we go, first slur. Any notifications to my email. I'm gonna start giggling in a second here. I've had about 4 or 5 drinks so far, and it's feeling pretty fucking good. Anyway, we'll move along. So I wasn't getting any notifications from anything. So Friday, I finally got everything fixed, and I was like, shit, she sent an email. So I replied back and said, thank you for the email. Reply when you get a chance. And she replied back and said, I've already posted something. So I feel like a bit of a shit at this point, because generally, I try to put forward that come join us and we'll have this nice community filled with support, and you'll be able to have friends there, and we'll understand, and you won't be alone. And of course, one time we have someone reply and they go, all right, this sounds great. I have a support system. This is great. Hi, how are you? Hello? Hello? and then 3 days of nothing. So I picture she's probably just sitting somewhere going, oh, finally I'll put it out there and I'll make that risk and make that step and say, okay, yes, finally, we have some support. And all she gets is, but. So I do apologize for it. But she actually did a response video to everything, which was very, very nice. She unlocked a whole ton of videos, and that's what I've been watching all night since I got home. And the funny thing is that a lot of what she had said in her response and sort of the first video when she came back was, the reason why she had locked them, and I didn't really want to sort of push her to do that, to unlock them, is that she sees it as a failure. And I'm watching these and I'm going through them and I don't see any failure at all. And I highly doubt anyone else does either. I think I just spit all over the place. Sorry. That you see, I know, and I get it. I understand that when you look at yourself, you see, I failed at this and I didn't do this. I didn't follow through on that. And there are gaps in the video, but I don't see it the same way that she obviously does. And I don't think that you will either. If you go up to her channel and take a look around, you don't see failure after failure after failure and things like that. You see someone who is restarting over and over and coming back and getting on the horse over and over and over again every fucking time that she hits a wall or she runs into a barrier or there's a hurdle that she has to get over. She comes back over and over. And if you look now as to what she's accomplished, as opposed to when she first started out and everything in between, she's made it. And it's sort of like that old saying, and I don't remember who actually originally said it. I know that Nelson Mandela sort of said something like this, but I don't want to just say, oh, Nelson Mandela, and sort of be a douchebag that way. Not that Nelson Mandela's a douchebag. It's just that when people sort of quote someone, they always quote, there's like 3 or 4 different people. But it's that same sort of thing where they say, courage isn't the absence of fear, it's overcoming fear in spite of it, or something along those lines. And I see that the same way. It's not like someone just saying, I'm not scared. That doesn't really show a lot of courage. It's the fact that, no, you're fucking petrified. And you still carry on in spite of it. And you go on. And it's the same thing with people who have progressed to where we want to go. We've seen it with Amy. We've seen it with Josh. We've seen it with all these people that are just, fighting their way through. And they're in the same boat that we are. And they're going through and they're hitting wall after wall after wall. And there's an obstacle every fucking step of the way. And they keep going. And that is what I find is more inspiring than people who can come in and say, oh, I lost 200 pounds right away. Because we understand that struggle. We know how fucking hard it is. And as though, it seems a really simple thing to say, oh, well, I'm just going to stop eating donuts. And it isn't. If it was, we wouldn't be this fat. We wouldn't be doing these vlogs. We wouldn't be doing any of this stuff. And I've said this in a lot of the emails, and I've seen this over and over and over again, that there's this innate desire to help other people when we do something like this. It's not a matter of saying, I'm going to record myself because I'm an attention whore and I want people to see me lose weight and look awesome and everything else. There's this underlying tone of, I want to do this to help myself, obviously, but to show other people that it can be done, that you can do this. And she has fucking knocked it out of the park with this. She's the most recent one. I watched a whole ton of them, so everything sort of get lost in the shuffle. I've even seen the one of you singing. Different channel. I know where it is. I've seen it. Anyway, she's at a stage now that is, I think the last weight that I saw was 219. I don't fucking remember the last time I was 219 pounds. So that to me is a huge accomplishment. And who gives a fuck if it took you... I'm swearing a lot, I just realized that. Who gives a shit? That's much better. It's much better than saying who gives a fuck. We'll try to tone it down. Who gives a shit? If it took you 5 years to get there, you've gotten there. You've achieved it. Bravo for you. And so when you look at these, and chances are you're going to see the same thing that I do. You're not going to see failure after failure. You're going to see attempt after attempt. And we've all done it. We've all gotten to that point where we try something and then we fall back and then we stop for a few months and then we try again and we try again because we do want that. And here's someone who just, is unrelenting and just keeps going and going and going and keeps trying over and over and over, and she's achieved it. And it's something that we can all look forward to and say, this is someone that is going through the exact same thing that we are. That has achieved it, and we can do the exact same thing. And it's been a fun 2 hours, aside from the drinking. It's been a very, very fun 2 hours. And I just wanted to sort of put that out there, because I haven't had time to actually reply through email. I'm going to reply to her later on tonight. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to do it while I'm drunk, because that's going to be really fucking creepy. It's just going to be a smattering of blurbs and me fat fingering everything on the keyboard. The response video that she had was very cute as well. And that she originally thought it was spam, which I can sort of understand, because there's that sort of initial sort of friendliness, just saying, hi there, I think what you're doing is great, and, here's why. Hope you don't mind that I try to sort of put something in there when I send something off to someone, when I'll say, I hope you don't mind, but I've added this to a playlist, and I haven't yet had anyone say, I don't really want you doing that. YouTube is fairly open anyway, but it's the sort of thing that if someone had replied to me and said, no, I don't really want to be part of that, immediately I would take it down. It wouldn't be a problem. But generally I had a very favorable response to this. But originally she thought it was spam, which I thought was very funny. Made me laugh. You watch the video, it made me laugh anyway. And of course I'm sitting in the parking lot at work, because the only time that I had time to look at this was on my break. And, pouting and laughing and everything else. It was very funny. But overall, it's a very nice response, and I want to respond back in kind. I'm not going to do this just through this video, though. I'm going to respond to an email, because there's also that willingness, like I say, to help and to say, whatever I can do. And I know that deep down she thinks I haven't done anything. There's a tremendous amount of inspiration in a lot of the videos that are in there. We've seen it with a lot of the people that we've added on here, whether they're just starting out like we are, or whether they've already achieved what we're trying to achieve. It's different for everybody. And it's just sort of going to be sort of building that community as well. And I realize I just said sort of 2 or 3 times in a row. Sorry. But it's been nice. So that's what I've been doing for the past 2 or 3 hours, watching nothing but YouTube videos. And drinking, of course. Because rum is awesome. And I actually have another drink here, and I haven't had a drink out of it, because I don't know if I should just sort of, because it's going to look weird if I'm reaching. Fuck it. I'm going to reach for it anyway. It's the only time I've really had, aside from the bugs, eating anything on camera. But basically all this is, and I don't want to spit it, I'm going to turn this around because it is, I don't know if it's trademarked, the logo on the other side. It's from a famous movie called Smum of the Smed. Very funny movie if you get to watch it. Anyway, yay. Rum and cherries and lime and grenadine and Coke. Here we go. Anyway, so that is, I've had 4 of them so far. They're very large glasses. I know I'm sort of like pushing it out of the way. So this is number 5. Just starting out. It's been a very good night so far. I know I'm going way, way over on my calorie count, and I am sorry about that. I'm not going to record it in my diary because I know it's just going to fucking go way over. But it's been an odd week, and I figure, fuck it. I'm just going to do it anyway. Oh, making a whole bunch of noise. I'm sorry. Anyway, or to sort of, in an homage to the person who inspired me to do this channel, fuck it! There we go. Nice and loud. Have to do that. Anyway, just sort of wanted to touch base on that real quick with Nina. I thought it was just a very nice video all the way around. And hopefully we'll get to work with her, and we're working with Amy as well. She's sort of, everyone's coming all together and stuff like that. It'd be nice to do a collaboration somewhat and start building this community the way that we want to. The rest of the week has been fairly uneventful. I did notice that there was one thing that happened that's a little weird. This video is going to go long, by the way. We're at 14 minutes already. Fuck it. Anyway, and it was one of those things that I didn't notice it until it happened, but I realized I'm spending more time concentrating on YouTube stuff because this is really sort of taken over. I'm really, really enjoying this, much more than anything else going on in my life. So I'll give you a little bit of history. My job right now is basically fixing other people's fuck-ups. What we do, we go into people's accounts. I can't say what company I'm working for, but we go into their accounts, we take a look around and go, they fucked up. Someone else, some agent. So when you call in and you talk to some idiot on the phone, that's the frontline people. Those are the people that you're talking to that are fucking up your account. Anyway, so all the little fuck-ups that happen, we fix. We go in, we do a whole lot of analysis, a lot of analytics, which is the same thing. Go through, fix the problem, figure out how much we owe you, and then we give you a call sometimes if it's really fucking high up there and say, hi, we buggered up your account. We ballsed things up. That's a word, right? Yeah, I ballsed it up. And we owe you a little bit of money. So every now and then I have to actually call someone. So this week I had to call someone. It's not very often that this happens, but we had a quick little list. I had 3 people that I had to call. So I called this one person and said, didn't get through to them, got a voicemail and said, hi, my name's Pooh. And didn't actually say Pooh, and say, here's who I work for and all this stuff. And give us a call back. Now, normally, we can't really give them a whole lot of information because when they call in with their account, we have to verify them and all the other good stuff to make sure that we have the right account. And then I can say, in this particular case, it was, hi, we owe you about $1,200. Sorry. We have stuff in the tens of thousands of dollars sometimes for people. So when I was leaving the message, normally you have a little spiel and say, hi, my name is Pooh. I'm calling from here, and here's why I'm calling. Please give us a call back. Here's our number, 1-800-SPANKY-POO, whatever it is. And what I realized is at the end of it, when I was explaining the situation, instead of saying, thank you very much, here's our phone number, please give us a call back, I said, and thank you for watching. If you liked it, and I got that far and went, wait, this is not what I'm supposed to be leaving on a voicemail message in a business. So I kind of went, which probably didn't sound very good over the phone. Kind of recuperated and said, no, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for calling, which still didn't sound very fucking good because I'm calling them. So they basically got a call from a knob that was calling in and saying, hi, you don't know who I am. Here's the business. Here's how much we probably owe you. Please give us a call back. Oh, and by the way, I'm a complete tard. And here's all the information. And yes, that's an offensive word, but you know what? Fuck off. Grow up. It's just a word. So, that happened this week. I haven't told my boss about that because I figured there's really no need of him knowing, because it's just going to look bad anyway. And the person called back. I spoke with them. I end up catching the same person. They didn't mention it, so I'm good. We're fine that way. But I realized at that point that a lot of the stuff I've been doing on YouTube has really sort of permeated everything in my life, which I'm really, really enjoying. It's aside from being a huge motivational factor in my life because I feel like I'm responsible and accountable to you guys. Just the connections I made with different people and seeing people that are going through the same struggle and people that can help in different ways and that I can help, and that just the prospect, even though we're very, very tiny at the moment, the prospect that we have something larger that we can build, I'm looking forward to it. It's really good. So, and I'm not a very positive person to begin with, but this is something that I find has been a very positive factor in my life, and I'm really enjoying it. But it started to bleed into other things. Anyway, I thought that was going to be kind of funny, just to sort of share that with you. Sorry. I know that I was going to share another story with a really, really bad word in it. Some of you may have guessed what that is, and I know I said this weeks and weeks and weeks ago. I will eventually tell that story, but this one's running a little long, so I'm going to skip it for the time being. And again, just to prepare you for it, this is a horrible word that many of you are probably going to go, I don't want to follow him anymore. Which is fine. It's your prerogative. But for many of you, you're going to go, he said a bad word. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else that we can do. Or what I'm supposed to say. There we go. See, this is the problem. I'm starting to sober up, and I'm not enjoying it very much at all. Anyway, yes, I guess that's it. I'm sort of looking over and going, yeah, we're about 20 minutes in. I know I've been talking a mile a minute and covered a lot of topics that way. But I mainly just sort of wanted to use this as a bit of a wrap-up for the rest of the week. Not a lot has happened other than my little phone fuck-up with people. But there's the problem of not talking to people very often and just doing this every single day. We're coming up close to 100 days, actually. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do for that. I thought about doing a real milestone thing, but I don't feel like I've made a lot of progress overall. I mean, we've made a lot of changes. We sort of finalized our changes this week as well, where it's, okay, we aren't making any more exercise changes. We aren't making really any more food changes. We're going to start tweaking things back and forth. But we're going to wait until we get to a point where I need to change salt. So that's going to be a bad one. Oh, it's going to be so bad. I'm going to be very grumpy and yelling at everybody all the fucking time. Plus, I'm going to have to get rid of my salt lick, which is going to be really, really depressing. Because it's great. I don't actually have a salt lick. I'm not a goat, just so you know. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else to do, or to say. But I think that's pretty much it. I'm curious to see what sort of progress I've made this week as well. I gained a couple of pounds a couple of weeks ago, and then lost that again. So I'm hoping there's going to be some progress this week. At the very least, to get to a point where my boobs are smaller. I know that's kind of gross, and I'm sorry, but I'm allowed to say I can call them tits if I want. I have them, so I'm allowed to call them that. No, I'm not going to show them. You fucking perverts. But that's actually one thing. I should actually come back to this. I'm sorry, I know I'm all over the place on this. But that's one thing that I noticed with a lot of the different people that we've sort of added on here, is that it's a level of bravery that I certainly don't fucking have at this point, where they're showing themselves and just saying, here I am. Here's what I look like without all the concealing clothes and everything else. I am not to that stage. I don't think I'll ever be to that stage. And it's one of those things that I know is a bit of a failing on my part. Well, I'm not even saying a bit. I know it's a failing on my part. Because it's sort of one of those things that they say, here's what I look like. And it's good to show other people. Nina did it, and a long time ago when we added Boogie as well, he did it, where they're saying, here I am in all my glory, here's what I look like, here's what I'm trying to change. And it's one of those steps that I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready for. I'm very, very self-conscious, which is why it's basically from nipples up at this point for all these videos. I'm not really ready to sort of stand up and go, here, look at my belly. It's great. I just think it's one of those things I'm just not ready for. I don't know if I'm ever going to be. We talked about this a long time ago, that no matter what my weight ends up being, I don't think it's ever going to get to a point where I'm going to be comfortable with my shirt off. I've never been that way. I've always been fat. I've always been bleh. I don't want to really say gross, but for lack of a better term, always been gross. So I don't want to get to that point where I'm like, oh, look at me, I look great, and I have all like loose skin and everything else. So I don't think it's ever going to be something that I'm going to be comfortable with. I may be wrong, 5 years from now, if YouTube is still around and I'm still posting, that I'll be okay with it. But right now, I honestly don't see that. But I see a lot of people doing that, and it's always one of those things that always fucking amazes me. That it's not the same thing as looking at someone going, oh my god, it's amazing, I can't believe they're fucking doing that. It's just sort of one of those things that you think, my god, I wish I had that amount of courage to do. Nina did it, Boogie did it. There's a number of other people, and I know that there are other people that we've added that are going to be doing it eventually. It's just one of those things that I'm thinking, I'm not ready for it. I don't know if I ever will be. Even when I get down to my, ideal weight and getting fit, to the level I want, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to that point. And it's sort of along the same lines when, you look at that, another sort of common thread that goes with us is that, that struggle is always going to be there as well. This is a bit unrelated, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And that's one thing that sort of Nina had brought up as well, that when she first started sort of releasing things, and she started releasing by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this. I may have. I'm a little drunk, so I don't know. She has released a whole fucking ton of videos and to her, and I get this, I understand this, that to her, she sees these as, these are, kind of embarrassing. But when you look at the journey right from day one to where she is now, it's fucking amazing, the progress that she's made. And so anyway, getting to that point as well, no matter, what size I get to, no matter how small I'm going to call them moobs, because I think pretty much everybody else calls them. We should totally do, I should just do a whole video on that. No matter what size I get to, no matter how, in shape I tend to get, I don't think I'm ever going to get to a point where I'm going to be able to do that, because just like showing off my body, it's it's always going to be a struggle. It's not as simple as us saying, oh, I lost those 20 pounds. Things are good. I can go back to the way it was. This is great. This is a lifelong struggle that we're going to be dealing with. And we know this coming out. Does that make sense? Out of the gate. There we go. We know this, starting from day one, that this isn't a matter of us, like when we started out for this full year, we knew that this isn't going to be something that, oh, I'm going to go for a year and I'm going to lose the weight and then things are going to be perfect. It's going to be awesome. I'm never going to have to worry again. It's going to be an ongoing struggle. I've got, decades of bad habits behind me. And it's not going to be something as easy as saying, okay, well, you know what? I lost the weight. Things are great now. And then stopping. It's always going to be something that, I'm always going to need to watch what I eat. I'm always going to need to watch how I react to food, what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, whether it's the amount of salt or fat or sugar or whatever it is, it's always going to be there. And I know that sort of going in. So that's sort of one of those expectations that we need to keep. And I now am realizing I'm trying to figure out where this is connecting in with the showing people what you look like. And I can't. I fucking lost it. See, this is what happens. In Canada, things are a little bit different. Once you get drunk, then you have that clarity. And then you start sobering up and you realize, I'm now starting to ramble. So it's horrible. So what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to start with a little bit of a drink. This is vitamin water, so you're fine. We're going to leave that. And we'll go from there. I'm probably going to down that after I'm done here. It doesn't matter anyway. You won't see. But there you go. A little bit of drink. It's fine. I did my treadmill today, so I'm probably actually way over on my calories at this point. And I'm realizing now that I'm rambling and I can't fucking stop. So, we're going to refocus. We are at 27 minutes. We are at, the half-hour mark for this video. So, at the very least, I hope it's entertaining. Enjoy. Anyway, so to wrap things up, I'm very glad to welcome Nina into the fold. Hopefully, she'll be able to work along with us and sort of, I know that she's got she may not see it herself, but she has got a tremendous fountain of knowledge that she can share with people. She's going to be able to help a lot of people with what she's gone through and what she's still going through and things like that. And go up and take a look at her video. It's very, very cute. Just sort of coming back into it and having the bravery to put stuff up that you've decided that you didn't want people to see for whatever reason. And you know that on her end, she's looking at it and saying, it's a bit embarrassing. And really, from what I'm seeing, and I'm not a positive person, I'm not one of these people that's going, no, everyone loves you just the way you are. I'm not going to give you empty promises or empty, aphorisms or any of that bullshit. I don't see any failure in any of this. I see the same struggle that we all go through and the excuses that we give ourselves and things like that. But there's a tremendous amount of progress that she's made in the past few years. The fact that it doesn't happen all in 6 months doesn't fucking matter. She's made a huge strides, to where she is now. And although it's an ongoing thing, we're all going through the same thing. So it's one of those things that I think is going to be very helpful in the long run for everybody. And very glad that she sort of joined us. And hopefully did I just slur again? I think I did. Sorry. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. I've rambled on for a great fucking long time at this point. And have not had a drink in a very long time. So I'm going to finish this video off and go and continue my drinking, continue watching her videos, because I still have about 24 to go through, I think. There's quite a few. I've gone through a bunch in the past couple of hours, and I want to go through the rest of them again, but I thought I would take the time out now and just sort of do this video this way. Because normally I would think, oh, I will wait until the morning and I'll be nice and composed. Oh, and I just realized, no, okay, all right, we're good. I was going to say, am I just all disheveled and half drunk and not looking proper? It's like, oh, you can see my nipples. Oops. Anyway, we're fine. Anyway, yeah, I'm probably going to keep this up here. This is the great thing about YouTube, is that I can record this sort of thing. I can post it. If I don't like it, I can take it down, but I'm not going to, because I'm more honest with this than I am with pretty much anybody else, aside from my close friends. That this is how I am. You see me as I am. That's pretty much it. So in moments like this, when I'm thinking, fuck it, I'm going to have a few drinks, get drunk, and do a nice drunk video, and try to be supportive of people, because I can't get this really excited about very many things. But with this, it's one of those things that really sort of hits home, that there are people out there that are going through the same thing, that you can see it in them, and they, even though they can't see it in themselves, and it might be the same way with me, that I mean, there's stuff that I can look at and say, I'm talking to you guys, but I mean, it might be helping someone else. I don't see it, but others do. And a lot of the people that we have had in here, we've got Amy, and we have Josh, and we have Nina, and we have hopefully Kat, which is going to be joining. I have not heard from her yet. Have not heard from Boogie yet either. And Sarah, who's now traveling around the countryside with her family, hopefully watching these and compiling a bunch of footage that she can see. I just made a weird noise. I'm sorry. When you have all these people that, they have that same underlying tone of, yes, we want to lose the weight, but we want to help other people. They don't see the value in what they've done, because just like me, and probably just like you, they see that it's just, they've hit a wall over and over and over again. We look at ourselves and we say, you know what, I'm still fucking fat. And it's really fucking hard to see that. I'm trying really hard not to get all mopey and sad at this point. It's really hard to look at yourself any other way than to say, like, no matter what I've done, I haven't made the progress that I wanted to make. And then you see other people that have done this, that are thinking the exact same thing, and that have fought so hard over their hurdles and their struggles and everything else, that it's amazing to me. And it's not just that empty, like, I know there is sort of that mentality of, oh, you need to be supportive of everyone, and, everyone's so far over the top with everything, but this is a legitimate, I'm in awe with a lot of these people that I'm watching that are saying, oh, it's a failure, I've done this, and I'm sorry about this, I've let these people down. And again, you look at it and say, but overall, you've achieved so much, and you've helped so many other people that maybe you don't even know. Like, you're watching videos from other people that, have been on YouTube for a year. They've got 500 views on them. And they think, oh, it doesn't matter anyway, no one's watching. There's 500 people that, even if 1% of those, it's given them that sort of that gumption to make them feel better during the course of a day, then you've done something good. You've helped someone. And that's what we're trying to do here. And I'm getting all sappy. And I'm going to be like a sad, crying drunk in a moment. And just go, I fucking love you, man. I fucking love you. So I'm going to try to avoid that. But just to a message to all of you people out there, whether you're watching this or whether you're another YouTuber, whether you're starting your own vlog, no matter what you're doing, even if you're just sort of starting things out on your own and thinking, I'm going to start losing some weight and looking at different things back and forth, that as difficult as it is, as all the different struggles that you're going to be going through, whether you succeed or not doesn't mean that you're fucking failing. If you're trying over and over and over again, and you're getting back on that horse, to sort of mix my metaphors, and I apologize for that, the fact that you're trying again and again and again and just unrelenting in that tells you something. It's still not a fucking failure. Whether you're gaining weight or you're maintaining weight or whatever the issue is, you're still trying. And if you're legitimately trying and pushing yourself to get to that point where you think, I don't want to be this way anymore, whether it's for vanity reasons or for health reasons or whatever the situation is, that you're trying over and over and over again, that's not a fucking failure. If you're gaining or if you're maintaining, you're not failing, you're still trying. And if it doesn't work, try something new. If this doesn't work, what we're doing here, try something new. If surgery doesn't work, try something new. That's why we're sort of bringing all these different people in. We have people that are trying exercise as their primary goal. We have people that are trying healthy eating. We have people that have tried surgery. And it's different things are going to work for different people. And whatever it is that you're trying, that if you find something that works for you and makes you feel good, fuck what anyone else is saying, including me. I mean, I'm to a stage where I'm looking at it going, I don't want to do the surgery because I think I can do this on my own. I may be wrong, I may be right, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't work for you, then you need to find something that does. And not to, make yourself look better for someone else or, to whatever your reasons are. It's just so that it's something that's going to work for you, that's going to give you that push to get you where you want to be. Not even where you need to be, just where you want to be. And if that means that you're happy at 250 pounds, then fucking be happy at 250 pounds. It's not healthy. It sort of defeats the purpose of what we're doing here. But if that's where you want to be, then that's where you want to be. For me, my goal is around 175. That's just based on my weight, or on my height, on my weight. It's based on my height. That's roughly where I kind of want to be. You know, for some people, it might just be a matter of, no, I need to get to a point where my heart isn't going to give out. Or for people that say, I just don't want to be jiggly when I sneeze, which is pretty much where I am right now. But whatever your goal is, whatever the method is that you reach that goal, it's not a fucking failure. If you've been trying for years and years and years, I've been trying literally for decades, and it hasn't worked. And it's not a failure. If you keep trying, if you keep coming back and going again and again and again, then in some way, and I know this might be a little abstract, but it is successful. You're trying over and over and over again. You're not giving up on it. And even if you're gone for 6 months or a year, it's a hiatus. You're coming back. Obviously, if you're watching this, then you're trying something again. So don't get discouraged. Whatever you're doing, whether it works this time or it doesn't work this time and you're going to try something new, then don't see yourself as a failure. And for those of you that are out there that have tried losing weight, and regardless of what your history is now, that you are making that progress, then by all means, holy shit, you're not failing at all. You succeeded in something that we're all trying to do, and you found something that's working for you. And the struggle may not just be over. It might be an ongoing thing that you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. We're all going to get to that stage. I know I am. But you have something that you can, reach out to other people and share with them and tell them, here's what worked for me. It may not work for you, but here's another alternative. That knowledge is helpful. And just overall, it's what we're trying to sort of gather together with this. And oh my god, I just realized how preachy that fucking sounded. Really douchebaggy. I'm sorry. That's not what I intended to do at all with this. And now I'm starting to get sober, and now I'm going to get grumpy and all ornery and get off my lawn. So I'm going to have another drink real quick. I know I'm sort of reaching out of frame, which is kind of weird, but I'm trying to avoid putting the drink in front of the mic because, as we know, with the bugs that we did, and to a lesser extent the peas that we did this week, it doesn't take much for the noise on the mic to just fuck absolutely everything up. So, cheers to you. So, I keep just crashing into all sorts of shit. Anyway, I'm going to start repeating myself over and over and over again. This video has gone way, way too long. And you know what? I could probably keep going for another hour. So now I'm contemplating, thinking, should I just put this in as like a special thing? Maybe for the 100, like day 100 for that milestone. I'm like, fuck it. I have something else I'll probably do for the 100-day milestone. But for right now, I think it just kind of went for right now. To all of you out there that are watching this, thank you very, very much. We're very small right now, but I really hope that a year from now, we're going to have a good-sized audience of people that we can help. And that's really what this comes down to. Everyone that I've contacted, they have that same atmosphere, that same sort of underlying tone to all their videos, that they're doing it for themselves, but they're also doing it to show other people, you're not alone out there. That no matter how bad you feel, no matter how bad someone else has made you feel, that there are people out there that understand, that are in the same boat, that have had those nights where we've eaten something and fucking hated ourselves afterwards. Or that, we cried ourselves to sleep because of something that someone said. Or that we've dwelled on something for weeks at a time because of how we've, perceived ourselves or someone else. We overheard a comment or something like that. There are other people that are out there that understand that. I'm trying to avoid saying our kindred spirits, but they're fucking kindred spirits. Fuck it. That there are people out there that they get it. They've been there. And there are some people that are still there. I'm still there with you. That I know what it's like. There are people that we have in even our little community that we're building now that understand what that's like. They're still there now. And there are some people that remember what it's like. and that they've gone on to, greener pastures, so to speak, and they're seeing it from a different perspective, but they still remember what that's like. So you're not alone out there. You've got people that are here that understand, that can empathize with you, and that are here to help. And that's the main thing that we're trying to do with this. And I've said it before many, many times. A year from now, when this year is over, we may not be at our ideal weight. I might not be at my ideal weight. You might still, have 50 pounds you need to lose. I might still have 100 pounds I need to lose. But it's going to be an ongoing thing. But the fact that you've got someone that can walk along with you, and I'm going to mix my metaphors again, that is going to be able to take that journey along with you, that you're not alone, that it's not just a matter of saying, I'm just a fat person just fighting so fucking hard to get this stuff done, that there are people out there that are going to be able to support you with this and say, we know what it's like, and we're here with you. We're doing this with you. We're cheering you on, and hopefully you're doing the same for us. It's going to make a huge difference, I think. And in the end, if a year from now, my goal was to get 1,000 subscribers at the end of the year. But honestly, at the end of everything, if there's one person, I'm going to get all mopey. I'm trying really hard not to be all sad to end this off, but because I know what it's like, it's so fucking hard that if there's one person that at the end of the day is able to say that we help them, then I'm happy. And need more booze. I'm not a sad drunk normally. I'm not. And I'm not trying to be that way. It's just, we know what it's like. We know how hard it is. So we're going to leave it there. But you're not alone. There are people out there that we give a shit. We understand. We know what it's like. So, just know that you're not by yourself in this journey. So, I'm getting really mopey and weepy. So I'm going to end this video here. So thank you very much for watching. I know this is going way, way over where it normally should be. If you've stuck with me for this long, then you got to see me sort of start crying. So bravo for you. But thank you very, very much. If you liked it, please poke the like button for me. In the meantime, keep yourself warm and fuzzy, and I will see you in the next video.